sports is a great way to keep the little ones active outside of school. Physical activity is fun and educational, plus it can help them run off all of that extra energy. Empowering Youth Through Hoops aims to lift our young ones while having fun, and here to fill us in on their inaugural basketball clinic is Brittany Woodard and Andriana Collins. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
First off, tell me, what is Empowering Youth Through Hoops?
Yes, so Empowering Youth Through Hoops, the first thing I think of is a safe haven, right? So we're hosting a free basketball clinic at Christian Brothers High School on January 25th. So it's for both boys and girls, kindergarten through 8th grade. And our team consists of former D1 athletes that are from Sacramento and the Bay Area. And really our main focus is to be able to uplift our youth in a safe environment. So we'll be teaching fundamental skills like dribbling, shooting, rebounding. But really the main goal is to be able to have an open dialogue. We want to be able to share our stories on what it was like as a student athlete. So time management, waking up at 5 a.m., right, and having to go to class. How is it to be a great team player? So all those things that are transferable, even when I'm in the working atmosphere right now. So we're collaborating with City of Refuge in Oak Park and Generation Girl, and we really want to continue this open dialogue with our youth and be able to give back to the community.
Well, I think it's awesome to have that outlet, and you can never have enough positive role models for the youth. Talk about the inspiration behind this.
Yeah. So I'm from Sacramento myself, and I went to Christian Brothers High School. Played so many sports, as we mentioned before. My mom was always putting me in anything to keep me busy, so I played basketball, volleyball, and I was fortunate enough to be able to have training outside of just my basketball, so like club volleyball, club basketball. But a lot of folks, I mean, I have a 4-year-old myself, right, and I'm realizing how expensive these things are, right? So the vision behind this is really to open up the gym, right, be able to have we need to share our knowledge on what we learned as student athletes at a college level. So what better way to do it in our community? Yeah,
nice to give back. You're doing it in Oak Park. Why Oak Park?
Yeah, so Oak Park, as I said before, I played so many sports, and you get out of school right at 3 o'clock, and then practice isn't until like 7 p.m., 6 p.m. So I'm literally at the school for hours, and really, although I grew up in South Sacramento, Oak Park was a second home for me, right? So putting on this camp, I've seen how strong that community is, and really it's a second home for me.
Very nice. Andriana, I want to bring you into the conversation. Generation Girl is sponsoring, partnering. What is Generation Girl?
Yes, so Generation Girl is a nonprofit organization. So we are based both in the Bay Area, because as Brittany mentioned, we are from the Bay Area originally, as well as Los Angeles, where I reside now. And essentially our main goals are to provide girls of color in underserved communities the opportunities to have exposure and resources to fields of entrepreneurship, business, law, and health. So I went to law school, and so I'm kind of more of the law and entrepreneurship side, and then my co-founder, Maka Ofodu, who's in the Northern California region, she is on the health side. So really kind of wanted to tie in what we do and provide people who maybe don't have the same exact resources allocated to them, or they don't have they're necessarily people around them who are doing these things. And so as Brittany kind of mentioned with the camp, and why we were so excited to kind of come on board with it, is that representation aspect. So seeing young professionals who are kind of doing things that maybe they don't particularly think of about doing, or maybe that they're kind of like, oh, that's really interesting, I've never thought about doing it, and here's kind of how. So it's that overarching aspect, but also providing the tangible skills and workshop development, leadership development, to help them enter and thrive in those spaces as well.
I think that's great. It's never too early to kind of introduce some of these things to the kids.
Exactly.
And help them think outside the box, and doing it through sports and incorporating some of these other aspects, like you mentioned, the health aspect. So you talked about some of the basics that they're going to get from the clinic. Anything else parents can expect?
Yeah, so we'll have check-in at 8:30. Again, it's January 25th, so check-in's at 8:30. The actual clinic starts at 9 o'clock, so from 9 to noon we'll have stations. So again, we'll focus just on the fundamentals. This isn't a training camp by any means. We're just opening up the gym. We'll focus on dribbling, rebounding, shooting. From noon to 1 we'll have lunch, and then we'll have a panel discussion with all of our coaches. We have about 10 to 12 coaches that are already set to go. And again, we want to open up the conversation, right? We want to hear their stories as well. What are they interested in? What what drives them. I had the chance to talk with the Oak Ridge principal in Oak Park, and she mentioned, you know, the same thing with girls. They're a little too nervous to go on the court, right?
Right.
It's typically a male-dominated sport. So we want to change that. We want to open up that dialogue. So we'll have that panel discussion from noon to 1. And then 1:30 to 2, we have a special guest, which I'm so excited about.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you there. We'll leave it as a surprise.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies, so much for coming in. I'm sure they can get all the information. All you have to do is visit their Facebook page, Empowering Youth Through Hoops. Thanks for being here.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.